a very good read, Easy. Better being out of doors. Oh, yeah.
Did I just agree to dance with Mr. Darcy? I dare say you'll find him very amiable, is he? It would be most inconvenient since I've sworn to loathe him for all eternity. I love this dance.
Indeed, most invigorating.
It's your turn to say something, Mr. Darcy. I talked about the dance. Now you ought to remark on the size of the room or the number of couples.
I'm perfectly happy to oblige. Please advise me of what you would like most to hear.
That reply will do for present. Perhaps by and by I may observe that private balls are much pleasanter than public ones. For now we may remain silent.
You talk as a rule while dancing?
No. No, I prefer to be unsociable and taciturn. Makes it all so much more enjoyable, don't you think?
Tell me, do you and your sisters very often walk to Meryton?
Yes, we often walk to Meryton. It's a great opportunity to meet new people. In fact, when you met us, we just had the pleasure of forming a new acquaintance.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners. He is sure of making friends. Whether he's capable of retaining them is less certain.
He's been so unfortunate as to lose your friendship. And I dare say that is an irreversible event.
It is. Why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little. To hear such different accounts of you has puzzled me exceedingly.
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
Is that Mr. Darcy of Pemberley in Derbyshire?
I believe so.
I must make myself known to him immediately. He's
Sir?
the nephew of my esteemed patroness, Lady Catherine.
Mr. Collins, he will consider it an impertinence.
Mr. Darcy? Mr. Darcy? Mr. Darcy? Good evening.
What
My
interesting
name's-
relatives you have, Miss Elizabeth.
I believe we have a mutual acquaintance in the person of Lady Catherine.
Very dear. You've delighted us long enough. And the other young ladies have returned.
Since I was a child, and then she died. I have a beautiful grey. Of course, Caroline's a much better rider than I am. Of course.
Advantageous marriage. But my Jane married a man must throw her sisters in the way of other people. So now. I'm very
almost ridicule.
Well, at least Bingley has not noticed.
No. I think he likes her very much.
But does she like him? There are few of us who are secure enough to be really in love without proper encouragement. Bingley likes her enormously, but might not do more if she does not help him on.
But she's just shy and modest. If he cannot perceive her regard, he is a fool.
We are all fools in love. He does not know her character as we do. She should move fast, snap him up. There is plenty of time for us to get to know him after the marriage.
I can't help feeling that at any point this evening, someone's going to produce a piglet and make us chase it.
I'm awfully sorry. Do forgive me.
I've been practicing it all week. I hate
Bennett, wake up. Oh, I never had such a good time in my life.
Charles, you cannot be serious.
We'll be having a wedding here at Netherfield in less than 3 months, if you ask me, Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett!
Mary, please.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
Mrs. Bennet, I was hoping, if it would not trouble you, that I might solicit a private audience with Miss Elizabeth in the course of the morning.
Oh, yes, certainly. Lizzie will be very happy indeed. Everyone out. Mr. Collins would like a private audience with your sister.
No, wait, please, I beg you, Mr. Collins can have nothing to say to me that anybody need not hear.
No nonsense, Lizzie. I desire you will stay where you are. Everyone else to the drawing room. Mr. Bennett?
But
Now?
Jane, don't.
Jane?
Jane.
Why does it keep working down?
Peace and blessings, everyone, and welcome into the iDance Art House Web3 Metaverse space coming live at you Saturday Night Live with Shiva Leela Allen. Let's talk about it 2.0. I am so happy to be your hostess today, and welcome into my metaverse space and podcast audio. Now, today we have a special topic, and we're going to jump right into it right after we play a little bit of sounds and allow everyone to enter the room respectfully. I hope everyone's been having an awesome day, and I'll hop back in as soon as everyone acquaints themselves with the space. And I'll make sure that everyone has a seat here at the couch so that we can get prepared for today's discussion. Greetings, peace, and blessings. And here we are discussing some amazing topics, bringing in this 2023. I hope everyone was able to recharge on this amazing season. This is for the Capricorns, of course. And so we're looking into more of earth tone themes, and along with that, variations is important to understand and remember. And with that, we understand that we have to talk about it. So welcome to SNL, Let's Talk About It 2.0 with your hostess, Shiva Lila Allen. And it's so important for me to dive in this discussion because a lot of people may want to know about what this is about. And so the people have chosen, and what they've chosen was Pride and Prejudice, the functions of dance. And what that means is, first, let's break down the first sentence of this amazing 1813 story about Jane Austen. This is a 10-hour lecture audiobook, and if you watch the movie, it's 2 hours. And so I was intrigued on this movie and novel because it had a lot to do with dance and the significance and functions and the importance and status that is around dance. And so now we know that if you took a look at the Patreon, you got early access to view the video before today, and we can discuss about what was seen in the movie. And status was a big thing, and so courtship was a thing for women who were siblings or much younger who were looking to get married. They had to have all of their boxes checked off, and usually the family would choose who they would marry to, just like in the African tradition. So we know that this is a worldwide thing, and that dance played a huge role in that. And the first sentence that I want to, read out loud is in this story, this novel. It says, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." Let's read that again. "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." So basically, to me, that means that when we think about it, it's really telling the audience and the readers that any man that is truly successful has a strong woman behind him, someone who holds him accountable, someone who actually looks within the details. And most men we know that are powerful have pride. Okay, so this is what's getting us into this juicy part, because the whole point of this lecture and discussion today was the significance on how body language, dance can actually send signals to each other, and usually it's unnoticed and it's very minute. But the courtship within this novel was amazing, because by the end we see that Mr. Darcy, the prideful kingsman, is just like head over heels for Lizzie, and she is the one of the sisters, I think the middle sister, because she's just so prejudiced. She's just so looking after her sisters. She might be poor, but she has a mouth on her. She knows how to defend herself. And usually in those kingdoms, if you had no status, you didn't have a voice. So dance was another form of language and another form of status. If you didn't have money, you could use that as a significant thing to court. And that's how her other sisters were marrying off. So she wasn't married until quite the end of the story. But back to the intro, it's just a really powerful intro because we know that men really do hold reign, and especially in leadership and building foundations and, really just starting to build communities up and being that chief and that pioneer. Having a woman around and there to assist is a needed thing because it's like a union. Even within dance, there's a pair. The music and the motion of the body is pairing. You can't have one without the other unless you are just dancing without music, but you're still listening to something in your head. So you're pairing two things to get a actual outcome. And that's why I look at dance so strongly. So even in the traditional society, it is full of egos, class structures, social laws, economics, putting distances between people. So even within our society today, we still see these things happening. And it's like, how do we break past those barriers of being the statistic or trying to break past stereotypes? Well, we can use these gifts that we have, and that's why I emphasize using the gifts that God has bestowed upon us, because it gives a different output on who we are, and it gives other people who want to get to know us or who don't know us at all a different side of us, because sometimes we don't understand that being humans, we could be very complex individuals. So with that being said, the complexity of being a human doesn't have to be bad. This is a journey to love and to cherish and to come together. That's why unity is so important to me. That's why this Web3 community is so important to me. And that's why these discussions are so important to me, whenever they took place. I read scripts from way back, Sanskrit. I read Sanskrit, so I go all the way back. And these original texts and scriptures that I come across, they're hidden gems. So, with that opening statement, it showed me an outlook on moral blindness and self-knowledge, because we understand that sometimes our pride could get us so caught up and our heads could become so big we miss the bigger picture and what we're doing. We miss why we're doing what we're doing, and our desires and our temptations get a hold of us. And we have to understand that self-control really is a thing that is well-learned skill. It's not something that really an individual could learn overnight. It's a developed skill. It's something that could be nourished and developed, and we could hold the power to really exuding our highest potential, as long as we allow, whoever you pray to, God, to work with us. So again, pride could be broken down with just allowing and letting the source energy flow, and even within the movie, I actually really love the movie Pride and Prejudice, because it showed the functions of a kingdom, and it showed the functions of the communications within peers and how they function. But I've seen a lot of proper language and dialogue and big words, but beside that, I understood that there was a hierarchy. There was a hierarchy, and certain people could say certain things, certain people couldn't. Certain people can do certain things, certain people couldn't. And that is such a big pivot to me, like looking now on how society is. Those structures and functions still exist, but I've seen that the world has spun into a new generation to where everyone is accepted for whatever there is that they want to do. And with that being said, the young woman Liz was determined to not be a stereotype like her sisters, not be so gullible in getting married, but she knew that she actually was in love. She knew that she was ready to marry off from her mother. And it just reminds me of that Cinderella story of every young woman wanting to get married. And she used dance and courtship. She made sure that she attended those balls. And so balls are significant within those communities. It's a way of saying, let's go network or let's go socialize. It was a social event, not just dancing. So the better you could dance, the the better you looked. You get what I'm saying? And so this is just like super dope because it's like, did these people socially dance or were they like professionally dancing? Were there some professionals or were there not? But I know that the Kingsmen looked at all of these characteristics, and so every woman made sure that she knew what she was doing, and I'm sure taking a few courses, investing in herself, because that's just how it went. And Pride and Prejudice was super awesome, and I also want to talk about the interesting fact of the functions of dance. The functions of dance really can vary, and I say that because a lot of individuals study dance from a different spectrum. And historically, dance was often performed in rituals, worship, social celebrations, and as a means of entertainment and self-expression. Today, dance is still part of traditional events, but also as an element of new innovative performing experiences. And so let's talk about it. 2.0. As you may know, I am a performer and I have taken dance to a whole new level, including the Web3 immersive space and allowing people to use MR, VR, AR to see me actually perform wherever they are in the world. And not only is this going to allow me to, of course, make money, but this is also going to allow me to practice my enthusiasm in dance and technology and getting people involved, getting people out and getting people up and getting people active. This also includes my monthly Fitness Fridays, so virtually anyone in the world could attend these events. My weekly events are free. You get a NFT POAP. My monthly events are NFT token gated, so you have to pay for that. And so it's all inclusive, gamified, immersive. It's getting all ages included and wanting to dance. Just like I think about the Dance Revolution. We'll talk about that later in the year. But the Dance Revolution started with someone having an idea to get people to dance because they loved it. And then they included all other types of genres and music. And that's how it included everybody. And some people who don't even dance actually, participate. So it is just a thing that's more inclusive too for big groups, families. And so I made sure to actually be able to, for people to see that. And the functions of dance is just super important because the 5 primary functions are the body, action, space, time, and energy. Being able to identify and understand these core characteristics can help you in talking about dance performance, and it can help you get your own message through the movement. So I understand my body. I understand what my body is capable of, and I don't overexert my body. And so throughout the years of dance, I've traveled through all types of genres. I've seen variations of dances, and I've performed variations of dances. I could say I've done b-boy, hip-hop, I've done classical, modern ballet, I've done theatrical. And so right now, I know that I'm practicing improvisational tribal fusion belly dance because this is what my body is capable of doing, and this is what I feel that is trending within my world, and is super sensual, and it's super sexy, and is super inclusive. It could be turned into fitness, or it could be a subtle movement because you can hear a lot of house music, so that includes a lot of ticking. So a lot of executing of the body, so a lot of isolating of the body. And so it takes a lot of practice to do what I'm doing. And I love that because I study the body and I challenge my body to do different things. And it doesn't always mean that I'm overexerting that. And just like subtle movements is super dope for me. And so action is super important because how are you executing it? What actions are you taking? And I think of actions when it comes to my feet because my feet lead me. And I really try to remain graceful within my actions, and especially when I'm performing. I try to interact with the crowd and use eye contact. And whenever there's an upbeat, I'm moving fast. Downbeat, I'm moving slow. If I have to get low and down on the ground, down to a certain level, this is what I'm going to do. This is what the actions that I'm going to take to get the message that I'm trying to get across through my performance. And so the space is also important because, like I said, performing in the metaverse is so much different, and it's an actual benefit because I can actually put myself anywhere and I can allow myself to exude that environment. And, so I use a green screen and I'm in the comfort of my own home. But once I record and I finish that video, I'm like, where can I place myself so that I can actually just, add to it? What can I add to the video to make it even better? And so I'm always trying to figure out what spaces that I could use. And the Web3 space is dope because, I put myself in Sedona. I've taken myself to Africa. I've taken myself into my Web3 art space. And there's many other places that I'll take myself. And if you purchase my NFT Raw Meta Gala 2022 live dance performance, you'll have ability to do so with that performance. You have all access to take me anywhere you want. This is a little reminder. And time is super important. And so now that I'm creating NFTs with my dance art, I'll make a full-on maybe 3-minute video, and I'll cut that into a 1-minute segment, and I'll choose really the best part of the video, and I'll take it and mint it with no cuts, no edits. I'll just take a straight video and green screen it, and the time is going to be about 1 minute and 15 seconds, something that's straight to the point and something that's not too lengthy, that's mintable. So time is also a thing to keep in mind. Time is of the essence, and it's usually I had a friend, tell me one time that you really want to be able to tell somebody who you are within at least 15 seconds. That 15 seconds of fame. You want to be able to just be like, I'm this, and let someone know everything about you within that amount of time. That's real, next level black millionaire type stuff, because it's you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, and if someone's asking you or trying to put you on or recruiting you, or you're in a position where you have an opportunity, just out of nowhere, hey, this is my resume, boom. And I don't even say resume because this is just who I am. This is what I'm here to do. So I have that whole little rundown already. It's having it handy, right? And energy that you put into anything is important, because a lot of energy is really set with intent. And so energetically, you could be doing one thing, but the intent behind it doesn't allow the performance to portray what the meaning is if you are not focused. So focusing on the energy that you're putting into dance performance too is really, really, really important. There's always, there's no room for any gaps, and there's no room for any empty spaces in dance. And so you're always keeping a fluid motion, and even if there is a subtle stillness, you still feel the energy of that performer. Even if that performer is singing or speaking publicly, you still feel the energy of that individual standing there, getting ready to, say something or give some type of information, drop some type of gem. And this is a super dope discussion, because this is the beginning of this year, and Earth was chosen as the overall theme for the season within the iDance Art House Web3 space, because I understand that the elements of nature are broken down, and that's how I broke down my seasons. And so the element that we're focusing on is earth, grounding ourselves, making sure things are seamless, keeping things as less complex as possible. Courtship, understanding family values and dance, and really breaking down some of the functions and really the basics, right? Because we understand that Capricorns can do it all. And these people understand that if you hold that energy of a Capricorn, you are pioneering, you're setting the foundation, and in the physical release, you hold the captivity, and That's a really powerful thing. The GOAT, right? So if you want to do a little research on some of those things within the elements of Earth, feel free to do so. And we can definitely talk about this as I wrap up this amazing episode of SNL. Let's Talk About It 2.0, Pride and Prejudice. Thank you so much for joining, and stay tuned. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be right over by the couch. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of SNL Let's Talk About It 2.0 with your hostess, Shiva Leela Allen. Be sure to follow me on my social media platforms. Also, to get alerts for these weekly Web3 events, be sure to join the Discord server. These will give you updates on all of the live broadcasts as well as peace and blessings. Please be sure to love this art space. Thank you so much for attending today. And be sure to follow me as I follow you back. Okay. So we are wrapping up another awesome segment of SNL Let's Talk About It 2.0 with your hostess, Shiva Leela Allen. And it's amazing that you guys were able to be here in this immersive space, because this is why we're here. We're here to inspire, and we're here to get people in this Web3 space so that they can reach the masses. And without further ado, I want to say happy birthday to the COO of the Raw DAO. Thank you so much for being such an amazing individual, an amazing woman, and just pushing forward Mo Caso. We know her as Mo. Happy birthday, Mrs. Capricorn. And also I want to say happy birthday to my amazing husband, who has just been here, just rocking it out, as you see here, like with all this amazing resources that we have. We have to give back. And again, the Capricorns hold the energy of the goat, and they are the pioneers. These are the ones that we also listen to, because these are the ones who know how to lead and actually know how to set a forward thinking foundation for anything or anyone. Those who lead and lead by example, I want to thank you. And if you want, you could definitely feel free to check out this space, and we will wrap it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.